again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Realms of the Wild. Yes, this is our custom Open Legends RPG in our own special version of the Breath of the Wild universe. And yeah, last episode had some cool stuff in it. Last episode had some interesting stuff. So I'm sure you guys are all super dealing with the bombshell I dropped on them at the end of the episode. But first things first, there are some very, very cool things that are happening here at Zelda Universe. The first thing you might notice is if you look at the if you look just under the stream, they have a brand new Twitch extension behind themselves because they're awesome people, and they're very talented people that work for Zelda Universe. So yeah, it's a brand new Twitch panel extension that's exclusive to Zelda Universe. You can see the schedule in detail in your local time zones, so you don't have to, memorize Eastern time that, only Congress and, people that live on the East Coast actually use.
Believe it or not, we switched on the Twitch channel to Pacific time because we had a show. Pacific time? Because we had a show starting at midnight Eastern, and it was weird to say what day it started on, so we just changed it to Pacific time.
Unfortunately.
So,
but now you can see it in your local time zone, so it's fine.
No, we have switched over now to Pacific time. But anyway, yeah, you can. It's a cool little extension. Like I said, you can play around with it right now, the channel. So check it out. It's kind of cool. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Sorry, doing 7 things at once. The next thing, we also have this thing called the ZU beta period. They're going to be rolling out some new features, some new layouts, a few of the broadcasts over the next 2 weeks. So tune into any of the Zelda Universe stuff and give us feedback. Feel free to tweet the feedback at Zelda to @Zelda Universe on Twitter, or leave mention stuff in chat during the show, or go to the YouTube channel and comment on the videos there. We really do appreciate your feedback. The other thing that is currently rolling out and will kind of have an adjustment process as you get used to it, the currency system has shown up. We've been talking about this a little while, where you guys can actually earn rupees just for watching Zelda Universe stuff and then spend them on different things. As of right now, if you are watching the stream, you should see a little Zelda Universe icon in the lower right-hand corner. If you click on that, it'll show you how many rupees that you have. And you can click on Redeem Rupees, and you can see the various things that you can use your rupees for. Everything from, in this game, you can get reroll tokens for these guys, where they can either reroll something or they can make a monster reroll attack, stuff like that. You give them legend points. You can give them straight up hit points, all the way up to
please give us
the always popular musical episode that Elias is absolutely thrilled about. Like, he really, really wants to do a musical episode. So everybody, make sure you save up all of your rupees forever to get a musical episode, because we want to hear Elias sing.
So excited.
I put that in the description of it too. I said, make Elias suffer by purchasing this.
The funny part is, 3 of us are vocalists. One of us, Alex, I don't know if you sing, but you are musical. You dance. You do sing as well? Okay.
I am a musical person.
I've sung before.
I have sung once or twice.
So yeah, I think it would be absolutely wonderful that we have, 4 relatively talented vocalists and Elias. So
I'm just gonna be the guy. I'm just gonna be the guy in those a cappella groups who's just like, just laying down a low beat.
So yeah, definitely check out the new rupee system. Feel free to start using it. Because it's new, things are going to go wrong. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Things are going to go wrong. Mistakes, we're going to miss some of the stuff. We are still learning. But feel free to, start playing around with it and stuff like this. I'm sure these guys would hate you spending your rupees this week to give them hit points.
We would not hate that.
So, Elias, I'm not signed into the thingy that lets me see, so I may have to rely on you to tell me if rupees get spent.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
Yeah, that's what to say. I don't have access to that right now. My computer's acting weird. Anyway, enough about that. To get into more Realms of the Wild stuff, from last episode, as voted by you guys, the amazing fans, was Pierre.
Hey!
So congratulations to Pierre. Your legend point that you can use wherever and whenever you want.
Good. I'm gonna need that. Trying to kill me.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, other than that, same basic stuff that we say every week. Next week we will not be airing an episode. Airing this episode, you can watch. If you miss any of this episode, you can watch it directly on the Twitch channel right after we're done, or next week after the rebroadcast, it goes up on the YouTube channel, if YouTube is your preferred place. However, those of you that are watching it on YouTube, hi YouTube, you may want to tune into a live show every so often so that you can try, using these rupees and changing how the game works, and actually interacting and doing stuff with the game. So anyway, that's enough of that. I think it's about time to return to the realms of the wild. Da, 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 da.
I'm imagining the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire spotlights focusing on the four of us.
Where's Regis Philbin when you need him?
All right, so
I don't want to know.
And as soon as you come back, I looked down for a second. I look up and Curie just vanished. I'm like, and as soon as we get back, Kess has disappeared. To bring us back into what's been going on, you guys were heading towards a place where you thought a wound, and these wounds are what are kind of changing the fabric of reality. And you were told by Brayak that you needed to fix you needed to fix these wounds, or bad things are. On your way there, Aruna was lucky enough to discover and turn on a guardian.
Oh, this music is pretty mysterious.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't worry, I have even better stuff for later on.
Oh God.
Guys, in trying to deal with that guardian, you all fell down into this, as of that point, unknown, that in one room had all this writing that some of you guys recognized. Kestrel recognized the most of it and was able to actually translate a few words. And then you guys, as you were traveling through, because you weren't sure you'd be able to get out the way you came in, you found this room with lots of sharp things that cut you guys up a lot, as Kestrel just walked through looking at her book and making notes. And last week you guys dealt with an interesting room where the very ground you were standing on rose up against you. And you guys were able to work together to survive and defeat this trap, only to discover that underneath the tiles that were trying to kill you was a symbol that Kestrel was able to recognize as the symbol of the Yuka clan. And the rest of you too. It's a pretty well-known symbol like they're bad guys. So yes, that is our most recent revelation. Is you guys are standing on a very large Yiga clan symbol. What would you like to do?
Well, as I'm clearly Zolta right now.
Yes.
Runa is quiet while Elias works on this because, yeah, my bad.
I'm going to. I'm mysterious, and I don't like you.
Well, I'm going to take out my accordion, and I'm just going to start playing a little ditty.
I'm going to silently judge everyone. Silently judge everyone.
Okay.
And then not so silently.
You know that message I said about changing, new layouts and stuff like that? This isn't one of those new layouts.
Nope, this is an old layout running on an old laptop, so bear with me here.
Fascinating.
Judge. Would you say that was a fair impersonation? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just playing my accordion.
I'm just writing my book.
We here at Zelda Universe take our jobs very, very seriously.
Only when we need to.
Don't mess around or, make baseless, tasteless jokes or impersonate each other.
Nope.
You're not impersonating each other? I am Pierre today.
Yeah, this is my natural self.
Facts.
Oh, go ahead.
I am now jealous of your
Pierre
baked
was
goods.
having a problem. Oh, these are just apples that I cut up before the baked goods.
Oh, then I don't want to be Pierre today. Let's fix
Then I'm
that.
not as jealous. Apples are good, but baked goods are better.
What about baked apples? We're off track. I apologize.
They're about to be.
Wasn't Pierre having a bit of like a existential crisis?
Pierre was like having a moan.
Yeah.
You were having a moan. I don't know what that is.
A
You're having
momocon.
Well, right now it's an identity crisis.
So yeah, to kind of to go back to I guess that plot point, if that's what you guys want to start. Yeah, Pierre. As you saw this symbol, you were immediately around you. You can hear screams. You can smell smoke and blood in the air. You're hearing crashes and explosion around you as you hear people calling out for help and crying out in pain and in fear and agony. You keep searching around trying to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing. It seems that anything you do is going to matter. And then suddenly you see in front of you the largest thing in existence that you've ever seen, and then you watch as an entire city begins to fall from the sky, and you hear the screams of thousands of people. And as this is happening, you guys are kind of watching Pierre. His eyes are completely wide with fear. He has drawn his out and have gone into a defensive stance. You see him every so often just kind of slashing out at things that aren't there. So I'm going to start with Pierre.
Pierre's lost it.
Pierre.
Yes.
Again, as of right now, you know exactly where you are, and it is a place that you do not want to be. What would you like to do? To your by your perception, you are there. You are no longer underground. You are.
He would like to cut a bitch.
Can I try to run the opposite direction of where I'm going? Where I am, I don't like it.
Yep, definitely.
Doing it.
So as you get up, you start running away as fast as you can, and suddenly you feel your feet out go from underneath you, and you slam into the ground. You're holding and as you fall, one of them cuts you, and you feel a sharp pain. As you look down, you see a member of your team, or half a member of your team.
No!
And they've kind of reached out and they've grabbed onto you, and they're saying, "Please, help us. Please, why are you?" And then they stop moving. As you look down, your hands are now covered, or your wings, I guess, are now covered in blood. Whether it's yours or other, no.
Remember when we used to delude ourselves this was a family show?
Yeah.
Not today!
Did we? Did we ever do that?
I was told to watch my language.
Not anymore.
Ilea, you are muted for me right now.
Sorry, I was opening something.
That's fine. So again, you guys are watching Pierre just kind of slowly but surely back himself into a corner, and is kind of just slashing out at nobody.
Pierre,
so
the tiles are gone, I think.
I'll be
At least
staying
I hope
away
so.
from that sharp thing.
Can I use basic common sense to be like, he seems to be having an episode of sorts?
You've seen enough because of your kind of upbringing.
I've seen some shit.
Well, you've seen people that have reacted like this before, where there's been a triggering moment, and they've been brought back to that they would prefer not to remember. You know, the place that you come from, you know, some really, really bad things have happened before.
What?
You know, people saw family
yeah.
members, you know, cut down stalkers and stuff like that for no reason. So, yeah, you kind of recognize the signs.
Nobody touch him.
You know, you're not a professional or anything like that, so you don't really know exactly what's happening. You've seen this a couple of times before.
So nobody touch him, because I'm pretty sure he's not mentally here right now.
Well, he's throwing knives or swinging knives in front of him, so I wasn't gonna try.
Well, you know, Aruna, sometimes I can never tell.
Fair. Did Aruna recognize the symbol as well, or was it just like the more?
Yeah, everybody would have recognized the symbol.
Okay.
Because in the Yiga clan, no matter where you guys are from, the Yiga clan helped Ganon.
Yeah, but we all know the symbol of the Yiga clan as well.
Everybody knows the Yiga clan.
So
All
what
right.
is the likelihood that this is currently an active Yiga temple? Because if it's high, we should go.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen any Yiga people yet, but we can't go anywhere.
We ran into a lot of traps.
Yeah, and I don't like that either. But we can't really go back because it's all caved in and stuff.
Well,
we can go look back.
Going down seems like a bad plan as well.
Well, it's the only plan, is it not? Or do you have an idea? Because you were quiet for a while, and Zolta's quiet now, and so I don't know why that happens sometimes, but
I appreciate how often Aruna feels the need to point out when we are clearly missing. No guilt there. No guilt.
Plenty of guilt.
might be the producer coming out as well. Who knows? Don't know.
I was gonna say, are you my grandmother? What's going on?
So while you guys are having this conversation, Pierre, you have been running again, everything you can to get away, and you fall over again. But this time, as you fall over, you hear a familiar sound. Kind of, and as you look, the object that you've tripped over is your accordion. And
accordion down.
For whatever reason, just seeing that starts to kind of calm you down, and you reach for it, and it starts rolling away.
Accordion has a mind of its own.
And so you start chasing it and running faster and faster. And as you do, the world seems to kind of bleed away and fade. And as you finally come up and grasp your accordion, look around, and you can see Aruna, Zulta, and Kess kind of talking, and you're in a corner now. You have about and you're back in the room that you were in before.
What just happened?
Well,
are you back with us?
We fell into a dungeon thingy, and then we found a room.
I know that! What just happened 5 minutes ago? God, Aruna.
Hang on, 5.
Why don't you tell us?
I just was in a place that wasn't here.
You seem to be having a traumatic reaction to the Yiga clan symbol we discovered on the floor. Now you're caught up. Let's try to figure out how to get up here.
No, but there was a city that fell from the sky.
Nope, that was your imagination. Well done.
I don't think there are any cities down here. It's a pretty small room.
Why am I dying? Is that what just happened? Okay, I'm not even gonna.
You're having a traumatic reaction to seeing something on the floor, which fair.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Do you remember the part where you jumped on a tile and then spun around really fast and then came back because you realized it was a bad idea?
Yes. Humiliation is going to help this moment.
Well, I'm just trying to think if that was 5 minutes ago.
No. Aruna, do you ever know how to shut up?
Sometimes.
Why do you ask questions?
Workshop it.
Aruna, I actually don't remember that. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? See if it jogs
me. We're about to die, possibly. Let's try to get out of here.
Okay.
That seems like a great plan, Cass. Yes, it was a great plan, Cass. Thank you.
Zolta steps away from the crazy person now talking to herself and closer to the crazy person who was swinging sharp things earlier.
Oh yeah, because that seems like that'll go real well for you.
Well, now you know how Zolta currently feels about you.
I'm wondering if Iruna is the most stable one in this group.
Oh god, we are so sorry.
Probably, actually.
That's not a high bar.
It's not.
It is sadly true. Oh god. Bomb thrower is the stablest person in the entire group.
I mean, I want the person holding bombs to be the most stable person in the group, just never thought that it would be by default.
Jeez.
So should we look at the next door, or do you want to look back and see if we missed anything, or what do you think, Cass?
Can we just move on? I'll just move.
Is it possible we missed something, or is this?
I don't think so, but you were looking at your book for a lot of the first tuple rooms, so I'm not sure.
I mean, I was taking notes. It wasn't like I was just reading a book.
No, you were writing one, I think.
Jodie, is there anything in my notes that now that I know, like, you said I had translated some of this stuff. Now that I know that this is a Yiga temple, does any of that stuff have more relevance?
Make me, what is it called? Make me a learning check.
You're a learning check. Boom.
I'm sensing some
It's a great day, everyone.
No future.
No.
It's now a learning check with disadvantage 7.
No.
Be fun
Suddenly,
to find out what
Cass's
disadvantage 7 looks like, but no.
Oh god, no, don't do that.
So yeah, just go ahead and give me a learning check.
Oh.
That's hilarious. I got a 7.
So yeah, as you've been kind of thinking about your notes, and after the tiles stop flying, and seeing the clan, you immediately went back to kind of reference things. But right now, adrenaline pumping through your veins, you still have the fact that you're in a very weird situation, that you've just seen someone reacting poorly, up your own memories of having to deal with people like that, and how difficult it is to kind of watch people go through things like that. So your concentration is kind of shot.
I am the picture of a happy family and normal home life.
Of course. You've heard about.
Yes,
you know,
I've heard things. No.
I read in a book once, and a friend of mine read it in a book once, and then told me about it.
Yeah, it wasn't me at all. Oh, my life's sad.
Speaking of Kess, we had a purchase of a legend point for Kess, so go ahead and
Congratulations!
take that.
Because they're
Yes,
like,
you have a legend point.
Kiri just rolled a 7. It was pathetic. Save her.
I'm pretty sure they purchased it before that roll too, so that's my bad.
Dang it!
Again, we're still getting used to our new system.
Elias's great timing strikes again.
Elias, I believe Elias actually set it up so that I can see all this stuff, and I just, for the life of me, can't get it to work right now. So
we'll workshop it.
We will get it working perfectly eventually, which means it will never work perfectly, but it'll work passably sometime. Yeah.
So, do you have anything in your book of something you wrote down that you wanted to investigate back there, or should we? Maybe we should open the door and see what's ahead.
Useful, but right now, okay. How about you open the door?
Yeah,
I'll
I agree. I'll stand against this wall.
Which wall?
Hang back.
I'm gonna go up to the door and see if it's still locked. The door on the other side.
Yeah. As soon as the tiles, the last tile broke, both doors opened, or not opened. They both became unlocked.
Okay.
However, the door behind is kind of jammed. Debris from the room before, so you can see like the door itself is kind of pushed forward a little bit at an odd angle. The door going forward just looks like a normal door.
Can I just go back to the door behind us and just try to push it in to open it,
sure.
see what happens?
Yeah. As you go up, again, it's not on the track anymore. So you think theoretically possible you could attempt to like either break the door down or try and like remove the door since it's jumped off the track now. But it would take a heck of a lot of strength to do that. So
well, it looks like we have to go forward anyway because this door doesn't work anymore. And I'll go to the door forward and just open it without entering. I don't trigger the auto event that makes Link automatically enter the next room. I just open it and try to look in to see what's in there and then relay to the group.
So as you open it up, unlike the room that you're in, which is lit by sconces and things like that, this room goes back to the previous kind of motif of kind of glowing blue lines on the walls and stuff like that. And you see a stairway and curving slightly to the right as it goes down.
A stairway
to
down?
Where you can only see, stairway down, to the point where you can only about 10, maybe 15 feet down before it turns and your line of sight is cut off.
Totally not ominous at all.
Dat Goron dark vision. All right, so I'll turn back and say, well, there's no Yiga people in here either. Well, not that I can see. There's a staircase that goes down into a dark void. If you guys want to come look.
Well, that's reassuring.
Great. Is there no other way out?
No. All right.
I mean, I'm gonna randomly check the other two walls for doors I blatantly missed.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
Perception. If this
or logic, I'll let you use logic if you're
they're the same for me. So
just going, where would a door be?
I'll use perception. Nope, that's 5. Yep. No, sorry, excuse me. 7. 7.
Wow, 7's a popular number, guys.
Lucky number 7.
As you look around, you're not even sure where the door you just opened is.
Okay. Well, I don't see any other doors here. Wait, hang on. Where'd the other door go? And I just like am spinning around, and I'm totally like turn myself around a little bit. I'm looking at the ceiling and like under the Yiga symbol and everything.
Well, I don't know about you two, but I'm perfectly resigned to my death at this point.
Well, for one, welcome. Are you Yiga clan overlords?
I'm not saying that I have some sort of external pressure on me to die. Looking at you. But I might as well continue on to my death if that's how we go.
Oh, wait, I found the door and I walked through it.
Why are we with this man? Goron, thanks.
Well, I hate to be that person, but he did kind of just save our ass in the, like, literally 5 minutes ago.
He's really big and good at making things that hurt others, so rather have him on our team than off.
Very eloquently put, Zelda. I'm going to follow after Iruna, because while I would like him to be a human or a Goron shield between me and whatever is happening, I also don't want him to touch things that he probably shouldn't. And I'm probably the most quiet should not be touched in this temple.
As she walks through the door, I'm touching a wall.
Okay.
Trying to look at the blue lines.
Literally reach up and just go, psh, don't touch anything.
Okay.
So as the party steps through, the door closes behind you guys. It doesn't lock.
Oh God.
Are you sure?
And you start into this other area. As you guys head down the stairs, you start noticing the hallway getting a little bit more narrow, until it ends in a doorway with no door in it. And looking through, an incredibly large room.
I like that the music got more intense as you started describing it.
How does it compare to the language room?
Easily double to triple the size.
Wow.
Like this is probably because you guys go down for a fairly long amount of time, to the point where it's a little bit difficult to kind of gauge how far below the surface but the stairs descend for a relatively long time, and then as you look in this room, you kind of get the idea that, wow, we must be relatively far underground, because the room looking into is it looks like much more like a natural cavern than the rest of these this complex has. Like everything else has been like square cut off, like obviously man-made. Looks like it was natural, and it's massive. It's roughly square-ish, about I have to do math now. About 150 feet on a side. And the roof is about 100 feet, stalactites hanging down from it. It's a natural cavern. And the blue lines going across the wall kind of spider out all across the walls of this cavern. And you see at the other end of the cavern, you can see that you guys are actually entering towards the top of this cavern, and there's kind of a natural walking path that leads down to the bottom of the cavern. There's pools of water. There's a couple like little shrubs and things like that down there. And then at the far end of the cavern, you guys see a very bright, glowing object. It's kind of difficult to see because, again, it's 150 feet away, roughly. It's kind of difficult to see, but it's large. Just gauging distance and things like that, you think it's at least twice Aruna's height. God. And probably wide enough for like 2 people to walk through it side by side without any difficulty whatsoever. It has kind of an arch shape to it, and then in the arch itself is built out further, and then in the center there's this kind of oval shape that's glowing brightly, and that's what you guys see. And then there's a larger kind of device around this glowing circular thing. And I'd like the lead. I'm gonna have Aruna roll me a perception check.
12.
12. Okay, that's good enough. As you're looking around, you do see a shadow in front of this glowing circle. You see that the shadow kind of changes every so often. Sometimes it looks like there's a single person standing there. Sometimes it looks like there's 2 people standing there. You're not sure if it's just like an optical illusion or what. Someone standing near this circle walking around, and you can faintly hear the sound of voices echoing the cavern, though the echoing is so bad and it's so far away that you can't pick up anything that they're saying.
As soon as I notice the vaguely people-like shadows, I'm just gonna try to be all cool and just be like, now pull Kess forward and try to be like.
Kess is going to look at him like, the fuck are you? And then like slowly looks over and like, oh crap. So let's
Kess...
proceed, but not through the most eloquent of means.
2 words. First word.
Zolta is just shaking her head right now.
So, Kess, you can now see again the cavern. Again, you've explored ancient Sheikah shrines and stuff like that,
I've seen it all. I've seen it all.
And this, even for you, is different. Generally, maybe it may be formed from naturally occurring caves or stuff like that, but the Sheikah themselves modified everything. Like they built and made sure that they didn't just leave open caverns like this. So this is kind of a weird thing for you to look at.
I mean, the Sheikah are weird, and as far as I'm concerned, aren't really a Sheikah anymore. But fair.
Is with the natural just formations of the cavern, is there like a path, like a any kind of visible path that sort of leads up to that glowing point?
Yeah, it looks more like just like a well-traveled kind of deer trail kind of thing.
Okay. Where
the ground is just kind of impacted and more pressed down, and it's been kind of cleared away. Path, like where you guys are, there's like a natural sloping little decline down to get towards the bottom of this room, and it zigzags among itself, and then you have the room itself, which is full of, like I said, there's little brush there's some stalagmites on the ground.
And then that was going to be my next question with my 12 perception. Was there like hiding places along the route to sort of
yes, after you get down the path, the where you guys are, again, you're kind of entering into the top of this room, and then heading down. And so you're kind of exposed going down this little path. There's no real cover on the little path that heads to the ground. Once you get to the ground, large amount of cover and things like that.
Okay. So I'll ignore the ticking time bomb that is the microwave. And
it is an oven.
Excuse me.
I assume that
Excuse
Aruna
me.
just takes it out, the timed bomb out of his bag and resets.
I pull a microwave out of my little bag and be like, this is not functioning
It was an
properly.
oven.
That's how it works, right?
That's what my big bombs actually are. They're shaped like microwaves, and then they just no.
Culture slime.
You put a fork in them and then they explode. So
no. So I'm just gonna try to really let's see. I'm gonna try to whisper very softly, which might come out to a loud whisper or just like normal volume. Just be like, we should hide down there at the bottom and get a little closer.
We want to get closer?
So we could see what's going on.
Okay, you go do that and then come back and tell us what you see.
Oh, fine. All right, I'm going to...
Yeah, we whisper it. Oh, okay.
I feel like I can probably maneuver this better than Aruna could.
So I'm.
You're not wrong.
Oh, so are you going ahead of me?
Yeah, I'm going to sneak
okay.
ahead of you because I am the team leader of Shika.
okay. So again, you have this kind of zigzagging path going downward. You guys are roughly about if the ceiling is 100 feet high, you guys are probably roughly about 40 feet above the base level. And the kind of zigzagging path goes for about 20 feet into the room. So, and there's no cover or anything on the path itself. So, knowing that information, Kess, want to go forward.
On my stomach.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're gonna basically like military crawl it
yeah.
down this path. Okay. Go ahead and roll me an agility check.
Which for me is a logic, yo.
Sure, and then you can go ahead and have advantage 1 on that. Because I was not expecting that.
16.
Okay, it's really slow going.
That's okay.
While she's doing that, I'm just gonna be a rock.
You don't sneak past Impa after curfew by rushing.
You make a valid point. You also remember you've never actually successfully snuck past Impa, but you have other people.
Yeah, to be fair, that's
Impas.
Yeah, that's Impa. Like, you snuck past other people.
But I have thrown Impa off at this point.
Impa pretended like she didn't see you.
Yeah.
I repeated her exact words to her and that threw her off, but I have at least gotten one up on Impa in one lifetime.
In one existence only.
As you make it down to the bottom here, you're able to kind of duck behind one of the larger stalagmites without too much difficulty, and you start again. Is the walls themselves are almost metallic in how they reflect sound. So you're hearing, you can hear that there's a conversation going on, but it's reflecting off the wall so much that you're unable to pick out specific words or anything like that. But it's obvious there is a conversation happening. If you would like to roll me let's say a logic check, you can try and see if you can decipher.
Don't make me use What? Yeah. Come on. 22.
Hey.
22. Cool. So sitting there and trying to pick it out, you notice two things. One, while there is a conversation going on, there's only one voice.
That's creepy.
Oh God.
Two, they're not speaking common or Hylian in this. They with a 22, you'd be able to recognize that they're speaking some form of Shika. It's different. You're not able to pick out every single word, but it's close enough. You know, like the difference between Mexican Spanish and Spanish.
Castilian? No.
Yeah.
By the tone and what words.
Technically the same language, but there's some different pronunciations, some different colloquialisms in it. But it's variation on Shika, which again is not. You were specifically told is you don't speak Shika.
I know.
You're just asking for shadow stalkers at that
I
point.
know. I'm a bad person. Curiosity killed the cat and the Shika. What? By this voice's cadence and what words I can pick out, does it sound like this person is either talking to themselves or does it sound like they are giving orders?
They're definitely having a conversation. But something about it is strange. Like I said, you only hear one timbre of voice, but it seems like it's coming from two different places. The same voice is coming from two different places. And it sounds like a natural conversation. It doesn't sound like somebody talking to themselves or anything. It sounds like a natural conversation between two people.
What else can I see in the room from this new vantage point?
Shrubs, some pools of water. Now that you're closer, you can see the large glowing circle is not just completely made of. You can see somewhat through it to a point. So it is slightly translucent, and you're still over 100 feet away. So
it kind of looks like those portals we walked through.
Kind of. It would. It's the same basic shape. The big difference being the portals through before that Briat called terrors. Kind of. The edges were they looked unstable. This doesn't.
So this might be the wound he was talking about. Wait, I'm alone right now, aren't I? Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Alright.
She's having a conversation with herself, just like Yiga.
Aruna's at the top of the stairs right now, looking like a rock.
I'm used to talking to myself. It's cool.
I'm like in the back somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just hide behind the rock if you want.
Does it look like there's any other shit? There's any other shit.
If there's any other shit. Well, make a smell check.
No, stop it. If there's any other... sorry, I dropped an apple as a mid-sentence.
Poor apple.
If there's any other doors or exits or anything.
Make me a perception check.
23! Oh!
So, looking around, you're getting a much better idea of what this is. Whatever it is, it looks like a naturally formed cave. The other end of it, you can see this glowing thing that is built into a larger device that you don't recognize. And behind that, you can see some sort of door contraption type thing. It's not like the doors that you guys have come through up until this point, but there's something behind the portal set into the wall. It looks very, very different from everything that you can hear. Obviously not built at the same time that the rest of this complex was built. And you see, again, because of the lights coming from this portal or whatever it is, you're only able to see kind of silhouettes, a silhouette kind of moving around and pacing, and sometimes it's only a single silhouette, and other times it's two silhouettes. And you're not sure if they're just like eclipsing each other or what. But without any details from where you are.
How long is Kess taking to do this?
A while.
So Zolta gets bored of waiting and reaches
This is going
out.
to end well.
And y'all give me crap.
Reaches. This is smarter. Shush. A little smarter. If I die, I didn't. And she tries to reach out into the room to feel life energy and see if there are multiple life forms, if there's at least one, and so Kess is potentially still alive. Just kind of.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an entropy check.
And I have to check because I always forget my feet thingies.
I forget my
They're at the
feet all
end
the
of
time.
your leg
I'm a
thingies.
terrible dancer.
No, I don't.
God damn it.
Okay. Because I don't remember what my advantage is, but I have a feat that gives me advantage on that. 23.
23. So, kind of extending yourself out, Aruna and Pierre, you watch as Zulta's eyes start to go dark. You see her pupils start to widen until her eyes are just completely black. And then they start to glow with this dark reddish color, and you see this almost kind of black and red aura start to surround her. Zulta, you sit there and you kind of let your abilities kind of stretch themselves out, and you start searching for things that you can draw life force from. And you can start feeling some of the plants. You can feel in some of the water there are, bugs and, small aquatic creatures living there. You feel Kess at the bottom of the stairs. And as you try and reach out further and further and further, you get to kind of a limit of how far you can kind of extend your powers. And because, again, the room's about 150 feet wide, you're not able to extend it more than about 30 feet past where Kess is. So you're still having a pretty good idea that there is a relatively large amount of life around you, but you just don't have the control or mastery over it to extend it far enough to get near whatever the glowing object is.
You done goofed.
He's still
Kess,
alive.
as you are sitting on behind this stalagmite, you suddenly feel this like cold chill run down your spine as something kind of washes over you. And you feel a little bit sick to your stomach as whatever it is, this thing, you feel like you're being watched on all sides with penetrating stares that are seeing right through
I did not
everything
consent
to your
to
very
this.
core. Not through, but like to your soul.
I know. And a girl make an inappropriate joke.
Yes.
I just make mine text-based.
So yeah, and after a few minutes, I'm assuming Zulta, once you get it to the extent of your range, you eventually stop, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I pull back and I turn to Aruna and Pierre and say, Well, she's still alive. Didn't sense any larger life forms, but I will too far.
Do your eyes always go
that's
weird whenever you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your eyes went black.
Shh.
Your eyes went black.
Lower your voice. Your eyes went black.
Don't say the line. I mean.
Mom liked you best.
So all of the sounds are reflecting everywhere, correct?
Yeah, it's a really acoustically active
Is there
area.
anything I can hookshot onto?
Tons. There are stalactites, there are stalagmites. This is a hookshot dreamland.
Fantastic! I'm so excited to freak out some Yiga people then. Because holy crap, is that gonna sound really weird? I would like to point at a stalagmite that is still in the shadows. Like up. Because I would like to purposefully freak them out with, because my hookshot sounds weird in general, but can you imagine hearing from everywhere?
Okay. Are you aiming for a stalactite or a stalagmite? You aiming for the roof or the ground?
Roof.
Stalactites are on the roof, stalagmites are on the ground.
Roof.
So do you want to go roof or ground?
Roof. The roof.
Okay. In order to get high enough to be able to hit one of the lower hanging stalactites, you are going to have to kind of scramble up the stalagmite that you're on. Because, again, the roof's about 100 feet high. But it's doable. Stalagmite that you're behind is like pillar-sized. Very, very large. If you've ever seen naturally formed, if you've ever been in a cave, there's little ridges and stuff on them. Because that's how they're
I've never been in a cave ever.
It's really cool.
I'm full of crap.
So you kind of scale up. I do need you to make a logic roll to see if you hit the target that you want.
Oh, look, one of these little legend points just fell into my...
You feel inspired from the ether.
It's weird, you guys. I don't know how that happened. It just went...
As a reward for an alternate universe self publishing a book.
Aww. Technically, I have a tiny publisher. 23!
Yay!
So without too much difficulty, you kind of scramble up there and you go choom, 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 and as much as you are kind of focusing on where you're aiming, as soon as you don't care about where you're aiming anymore and you are just watching the one or two figures that are there, and as you go across, and it makes this relatively loud sound that just echoes everywhere, the figure look around, and then it turns into two figures, and they're both looking around, and they start
quietly
walking away from the portal, and then you start noticing something bizarre. As you're watching the two people, every so often it'll just be one person walk, two people, and despite the fact that they are getting further and further apart, they're kind of spreading out to try and figure out what's going on. Again, sometimes one person, and then sometimes there will be two people. So while that's happening, you guys hear the familiar sound of Cass's hookshot go off and echo across everything.
Is she using her hookshot? Or, sorry, nope. Is she using her thing? That's really loud.
Fair knowledge.
Cass may have just randomly off chance referenced it as her hookshot.
I probably don't remember
call it that.
It's true.
And there's an actual in-game reason why she calls it that too. So there.
Whoa! Plot.
I'm gonna try and peek out a little bit.
Did you just say whoa, plot?
Yes.
Jodie's just dropping hints towards backstories and different things
I really need to, like, at this point, I think that's something I need to just throw when I encounter. Whoa! Plot! Don't step in that plot.
Somebody clip the chat, thank you.
Once Zelda Universe has a merch store, totally going on a shirt.
We have a merch store.
We do have a merch store.
I made it.
Super basic.
Look at that.
I need
get that on a shirt.
Well, I'm just saying you have a new merch idea.
All right.
Great, I will write it down.
If you need help designing that, let me know.
Slide to the DMs, we'll talk.
As soon as we hear those strange noises, because random R's to make me maybe slightly worse people, but also saying noises.
I get a legend point.
It's too early. It's too early for this.
But that's a Jodie legend point. That's not an NPC legend point. Let's just be clear here.
Wait a minute.
Those are different.
So I can use it in like real life. Like I can just like I really need this. You
you really need something to go well. Add that legend point to it. Yeah.
Works like
you
a
got that.
That's how it works, right?
Yes, I think so. I have so many legend points. They've worked really well in real life for me, but we can talk about that later. Anyway, so Zolta taps into her entropy for something bad that's going to happen. AKA I turn on my life drain just in case something bad is going to occur.
Zulta, her eyes don't go black this time, but Zulta starts to exude this kind of black and red aura from her, and you can see little, her kind of glowing. Is R still kind of exposed where you are?
I'm gonna peek out.
Now that you guys can see these guys are coming out and looking for something specifically, are you guys going to try and step back into the hallway before, down? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna hide behind the nearest rock, which is Aruna.
Okay.
The nearest rock is peeking out a little bit to see where the guys are heading out, or where it looks like they're exploring. If they're coming our direction specifically.
They're not coming directly towards you guys. They look to be a little bit more random in their search pattern. And again, you're a little bit too far away to see exactly what they're doing. Kess is much closer to them, so she can scent.
She flies.
I'm gonna try my best to stay rock looking and keep an eye and see if they come near where I think Kess is or where we are specifically. With the intent of harm.
With how quickly that she did that, and the fact that you were in rock form when she did it, you don't actually know.
Oh, that's right.
Anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
You know where she was at one point, but she's kind of vanished.
Jodie.
Yes.
Take a legend point.
Take a legend point
from the rupee system. This is for Jodie. No joke. Is that message?
You can of course give the DM legend points. I can use them on NPCs and things like that to make things more interesting for the players. So thank you so much.
In real life, DMs, it's you.
If the audience is buying legend points, then yes, they're actually going to go towards the game. They don't get to. If they want to give me, things in real life, they're more than welcome to. But
suddenly, just random people on the street are handing you little coins that say LP on them.
I'm like, cool. You know what? That would be awesome.
I thought you said all P, and I'm like, that's weird.
I have questions. What?
If you were like,
I thought she was offering to pee on things for people. I don't know.
So these Yiga guys.
I'm not into that. Not for all the money in the world.
These Yiga guys are totally here.
If someone else wants to do that, it's just not my thing. Sorry. Oh. Also, I don't know why I would give a coin out that said that.
So
that's an interesting way to advertise.
Kiri and Ilea broke the DM, so you could both take legend points.
Heck yeah!
Gracias.
And Sophia.
Yeah. All we have
That
to
was
talk
so
about is
bad.
golden showers and everything.
You know that,
Okay.
You know that whole thing about this being a family-friendly show?
I'll have to take it.
I really, really don't remember that.
Again,
Have me
in
as a
after-school
character.
specials, in the after-school specials, sometimes serious things happen because we need to talk about those serious issues with our children so that they understand the same
That's
choices.
Exactly what it is. We need to talk about. I'm not even. No, I'm stopping right there. 'Cause I'm gonna fight. Wow.
We just saw you completely shut
Pierre,
down your
you
entire
haven't done anything for a while. What does Pierre want to do?
He wants to go see a Star Wars.
You know what? Good point. I'm gonna go. Bye. I'm just gonna kind of
Everyone just
chill over
pieces
near Aruna.
out.
I'm gonna let Kess do this because I don't trust myself as after what I just had subdued. So I'm just gonna kind of
Okay.
hang around Aruna for a bit.
Aruna, you are now the place to hang out.
I'm used to it.
Damn it.
So Kess, an upper vantage point.
Okay. Yeah.
And from where you are, there are quite a few stalactites that are now in range of your hook shot. If you drop a little bit, you can hit quite a few different stalagmites. Like you, again, a hook shot paradise.
It's a hook shot paradise.
In a hook shot paradise.
Thank you. I was like, if only I knew
I know.
song well enough to make that parody. They're still like they're wandering around, right?
Yeah, they're. It's obvious to you that they are attempting to enact a sort of search pattern, but the fact that you don't know if it's your eyes tricking you or what, but the fact that sometimes there's two of them and sometimes there's one of them, very difficult for you to kind of predict what kind of search pattern that they're using.
Is it possible that this is some kind of Sheikah magic and there really is only one, but...
Make me a learning check. That's a good question. You can have advantage on that.
Ancient
Aggressive
Sheikah
learning.
magic.
How do you learn aggressively?
Come
Have you
hang
met
out.
Kiri?
Yeah, like come hang out with me, man. Let me tell you about
Please.
falling down the Google rabbit holes at my
I would love
place.
to hang with you.
20.
Hey.
Jeez, Kestrel, it's okay to roll below a 20. But thank you. But thank
She
you.
did earlier, and she's correcting for it.
Elias,
I am correcting
You
it.
do realize you've just told one of your party members
Hey,
to
look.
"Oh, low rolls are fine."
Look, I'm just a little jealous, is all. Okay.
We're not
maybe you
saying
should
that
stop
Ruben
rolling
is always the
actual
smartest.
Did you stop? Okay.
So, Kestrel, as you're kind of thinking of Sheikah magic in general and stuff like that, there are spells. The Sheikah in general, specifically, but the Sheikah in general are used to subterfuge and stuff like that. Millennia ago, they were the Hyrulean, or the. I have to remember what your specific world. They were protectors of the royal family. World was Zora. They used to protect the Zora royal family. And so subterfuge and misdirection and stuff like that is something that they were very, very good at because it made them very good at their jobs. The Yiga clan kind of twisted that, and instead of subterfuge and things like that, they used a lot of lies and manipulation tactics and things like that. So theoretically, it's possible that there could be magic that could simulate this. However, the observations that you're making, again, you're as familiar as you can be with Sheikah magic. you don't people, you get the feeling that there are definitely two people there. And when you only see one person, you get the definite feeling that there's only one person there. So while there are spells that could duplicate this, this doesn't seem like a spell to you.
Interesting.
I'm...
So okay. Sorry.
You okay?
I'm waiting for someone in her house to just come over and go, "Are you okay?"
I mean,
they know me
they've
so
invited
well. They know
Kiri
this
into their house. I feel like...
Okay. No. Yeah, I'm at M's. M's used to this.
Is she?
Yes. Em has known me since I was 14.
That was a very accepting yes.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that is good. Guys, I'm good. Just saying.
Okay. Good.
All right.
Rolled a nat 20 on
And
that.
this has been Baking with Kiri. Tune in next week to see preps.
Yeah.
We've
So
baked a
we'll
touch
do a
baby.
month of crossover streams where one player acts like their normal stream and does one of their own shows.
Done and done.
Hey, I have an availability on Mondays. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
like you know of spells that could simulate this. This doesn't seem like a spell to you.
Possible, given that looks like a portal, is it possible that this is the same person from two different realities?
You don't know enough about how this stuff works to be able to say yes or no. But I will give you a legend point for that.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, you don't know. Again,
Okay.
that is not something that you would have the ability to know. But like I said, take a legend point.
I'm waiting for Kiri's laugh to just get more evil as time progresses, and that to be a reflection of Cass's outlook on life.
What if Kestrel is the main antagonist?
Aaliyah, at some point,
You guys
if you are
don't
ever
realize-
over and you hear me find a cricket, we have deemed that the Gonzo laugh because it's this slightly maniacal of murder. So
Alright.
down with crickets, man. They get in your house, they bounce around, they eat everything.
Alright. Kiri, you broke the DM.
Oh
Take
my
it away.
gosh. So many legends.
Oh, wow.
I'm still at 0.
Gotta try and break it
I
up,
Apparently,
man.
my focus during these games
I'm
need to
saying.
just be telling jokes to Jody.
Yeah. I also think that we all need a campaign for Aruna to get a legend point just at least once.
Oh my
That
god.
is dear God, that is
My name is Iruna, and I'm running for MVP for episode 10. If elected,
Paid for by the Aruna for a Legend Point Foundation.
Enough of it. You're my listener.
With all those campaign finance laws, you're gonna have to form a super PAC.
yeah,
is-
no,
is
it's
all
gonna
I'm
be a whole
saying.
thing. Yeah.
Ask your doctor if Aruna is right for
Oh,
you.
okay. Iruna.
Okay.
For Aruna can lead to symptoms
Kestrel.
ranging from
Yeah, let's.
So,
I'm sorry, we've derailed.
okay,
I don't
I
think
am in
trails
control
existed.
of this game. I am the game master. I am the game master.
When someone asks
well,
if you're the game
yeah.
master, you say
I mean-
yes.
But who's the gatekeeper?
No, I was the queue master.
Yeah.
I know that,
I am
but
the
I'm going to make a
Keymaster.
Ghostbusters reference if I can.
That was the reference. I was making a
I know,
Ghostbusters.
I know, but Kiri got mad at me because it's Keymaster and not Game Master. So
I'm just keeping an eye on these guys as best I
So
can.
back to Cass, you have an upper vantage point. They're getting to the point where, again, you're hanging off of a stalactite. You don't really have that much cover. They're getting to the point where if they look up, they might notice you. Move? Do you want to drop down? What do you want to do?
How far away are they from the portal?
They've now moved about Math is hard. About between 30 and 50 feet, depending on how you want to measure it.
Okay. Are there backs to it?
Yes.
Okay. They look like they're carrying any particular obvious weapons with their, like, anything catching the light, like blades or...
Yes. That's a fantastic question.
Well.
You see a glint of light reflect off a metallic pommel on and it's small enough that you get the idea it would probably be maybe a dagger. But from your vantage point, again, you're pretty high above them, so seeing small stuff like what's on their belt and stuff like that is going to be difficult. So, but you get the idea. They probably dagger. You know, generally, it's actually a relatively common Yiga fighting tactic to use paired daggers. So,
Okay.
and you know that in trained hands, a pair of daggers can be very, very deadly.
And they seem to be the only movement, correct?
Yeah, for the most part. Every so often, one of the shrubs will sway a little bit in a breeze that doesn't exist, but.
Are they possibly directly below me right now?
If you want to, you can wait until they're directly below you. However, the longer you stay in the same place, the more likelihood that before they get directly below you. Again, you're hanging off of.
All right, I'm gonna
a stalactite.
move to
You're
another
not
one.
really secretive. Okay.
Is there a
Make me another logic.
tight?
You want to stay on the roof?
No, I want to go down. Might tight?
Tights cling tight to the ceiling. Might make it to the ceiling one day.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna go down.
Okay. Make a logic check.
The across stuff I know is like, I'm gonna just, since I have all this bounty of points, just gonna use another one of those.
I'm assuming
42! Oh!
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Everything.
42.
So did I achieve enlightenment as I travel across?
You do. You now, you can see the Matrix. You suddenly see a group of 5 people all staring at what look like mini portals, but they're and talking to each other and making bad puns. So in order to get to one of the stalagmites, because you only have about a 25-foot range on your hook shot, you actually have to drop a little bit. Dropping, you're kind of watching, and then you shoot the hook shot out and go boom, and you watch both of them freeze in place and look around, trying to figure out where the sound is coming from. But you've kind of analyzed the acoustics of the room now. You know where you can activate this thing that it's going to cause the most echo and the most distortion.
Awesome.
So yet again, across the room, are you going? Are you trying to get closer to the portal or move laterally around it?
At this point, I'm just trying to like keep them disoriented.
Okay. So yeah, you move to another place. You guys hear the hookshot go off again. Yeah, you watch these guys. They get at this point you see them both pull daggers out and kind of get ready.
Do we see? Can we see now that there are like 1.5 people there visibly? Are they far enough up?
Yes, they've gotten far enough that they can see that. The only reason that they haven't noticed you guys is Aruna plays a rock really, really well. You guys are relatively certain because again, you guys are straight out in the open. You are above everybody else, with nothing to hide behind. Other than as Aruna moves, you're relatively certain these guys are going to notice.
Okay.
But they're now close enough that you can see them, and you're seeing the same thing Cass was, where sometimes there's 2, sometimes, and whenever you kind of look and focus again, it always seems like your eyes are tricking you when it changes. Like it's really, really confusing and unsettling.
So, since I rolled so awesomely,
yeah,
I'm going to assume that that was also an awesome acrobatic thing that nobody saw because it's too damn dark.
Well, kind of the point of it was that people wouldn't see it. So
since you said
the suggestion has been made that you are now Batman from the Arkham series. So
yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to descend and then lift somebody up.
Oh, it's going to happen eventually.
Swear to me.
Where is she?
And it's probably going to be me that she does that too.
I want to answer your question. I just don't understand what you're saying. Was there words in there? I mean, I want to help. Okay?
But since I have an idea of like the acoustic layout.
Yeah.
And my goal right now.
Never thought I would hear that in one of my games.
Aw. Acoustic layout, and as we know, I'm feeling a bit meh. I just want to disorient them and possibly get them to maybe split up, if that's even possible. I'm trying to figure out, is it possible? Maybe not. Since there's this all the little synapses in my brain. Going to just like very like while kind of using the cave to throw my voice, be like, it is a real damn shame nobody saw that because I'm pretty sure it was amazing.
Wah, wah.
So now I'm just kind of being a little cocky while also throwing it.
Can we hear it from where we are?
Yeah, you can definitely hear that.
Oh, yeah,
great. Zolta is face palming behind Aruna.
We're going to die.
Well, someone's going to die.
Watch it be me. Anyway.
All right, so
I've just given away that that noise is attached to a person, which they probably knew, but I'm trying to like mess with them more.
They still can't quite figure out where the sound is coming from, and the fact that you have now moved the place that they thought it was coming from before is no longer accurate. So they're widening their search pattern.
Does it look like they're splitting up at all?
It seems that way, and then all of a sudden they both stop, and they start slowly walking back towards the tear.
How close before they turned and started to walk back did they get to us?
Within about 50 feet.
How close are they to me?
They're going to be walking because they technically went past you. So they're going to be walking back past you, and they'll get brought 25 feet of you.
Just gonna whisper.
Walking separately, right?
Yeah, one of them will get within 25 feet of you.
I want to shoot my hook shot at them.
Okay.
In fact, if I could like shimmy up a tiny bit, and then
at the same time, I'm gonna turn
I want to Arkham this, you guys. I want to Arkham it so bad.
At the same time, I want to turn to Zolta and Pierre when I notice they're starting to turn back. I'm like, should we move? Do you think? And then she hook shots.
Yep.
And the hook shot, she said, makes a distinct sound.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
So we clearly recognize that it's the hook shot. And Zolta's gonna peek out behind a room. She needs to attack anyone.
I would like everyone to roll for initiative for me.
Yeah. I'm going to like Batman my way through this the entire time, you guys.
15.
Hold on a second. I've got to get everything typed out. All right, Aruna.
10.
Zolta.
21.
Yes.
Sorry, 1 second. Misplaced it.
Also,
16.
if you're keeping a cat count in our stream today, I'm now at 2.
Kitty.
That's Sean Connery.
Pierre.
This is
15.
Nicolas Cage.
Hi,
Sean
Nicolas
Connery
Cage.
was here earlier.
His hair is too nice to be Nicolas Cage. Old bird.
Oh, and Sean Connery is now also checking everything out. So,
Sean.
I can't.
Sean.
battle. You're just in time for the battle.
All right. So the first thing that happens is Cass, go ahead and make a hookshot attack against one of these guys.
Where did I put my? There we go.
Time to get our idle battle animations on.
Using a legend point. Boom. 18.
18 works.
Hey.
Were you? I guess the question I have: were you intending to try and do damage to them, or were you doing something else?
Damage, yes, but kind of I want to knock them away. Like, I noticed they are not walking a certain... I'm still actually conducting experiments because I've noticed they're not walking a certain ways away from each other, so I'm trying to increase that distance.
Okay. Oh, so you wanna actually pull one of them kind of towards you?
Preferably, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you succeed in doing that. You sit there, you fire it off, and you actually pull him. How close do you want him to get?
If possible, I'd like to smack him into the stalagmite I'm standing behind.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm actually fine with that. He'll take 3 points of damage from getting smacked into one of the stalagmites, and then he hits the stalagmite that you've kind of like you kind of peeked over the stalagmite, hit him with the hook shot, and then just dropped, so that the hook shot technically wrapped around the stalagmite, and he just hit it. You see him almost unfazed by it. Like as he hits it, he just instantly turns to you, and you hear this kind of unearthly voice, "Hello.
Yeah.
It seems I've guests."
That's creepy.
Great. They're creepy bad guys.
No.
But Zulta, you were the first one up.
I would
Wait,
like
Zulta never found it up they're alive. Maybe they're undead.
Undead.
I would like to cast Cat to distract them. It's a great spell.
I would like
we
to
talked about
cast
before. You send
Cat.
in a bunch of cats.
Guys,
Yeah.
I think cat is a little bit of an OP spell. Like it's not really fair.
It's
You know, Jodie approved it, so
It is literally
You
the
can't
worst
roll
spell.
high enough. You can't roll high enough to like have the willpower to refuse it. It just seems a little
Yeah.
too
in a
OP.
system
And
without
that's the thing,
spells. It is the
even-
worst spell.
Yeah, even when cats roll a 1, they still succeed. It's very interesting.
Cats are adorable.
So yes.
That's okay.
Yes, that's Jodie.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's a motorboat.
So,
Zold.
So which twin is closer to me right now?
the closest one is about 75 feet away. And the furthest one is about 100 feet away.
Okay.
Because Kiri, Cass has gone pretty far.
So, I am gonna, I mean, at this point, I guess I'm going to walk closer and feel some energy from the one that's closer.
Okay.
Which I hope is the one she hit into the
Yes.
stalagmite.
The
Yes,
one that
perfect.
she hit into the stalagmite.
So in story, I see her do that, and I decide to just make it even worse for them. You know, just add injury to insult, and start stealing their energy with some.
So you guys watch
drink.
as Kestrel, or not Kestrel, I'm sorry, Zulta. Oh man, Everyone was someone else this morning. Give me a break.
I was Pierre, though, so we can make that work.
Disadvantage is in your future. Don't argue.
Hey!
Can't think. You guys watch as Zulta kind of runs down the path relatively quickly. Fall, I would like you to make an agility check for me, Zulta.
Okay. 3.
Oh no!
Rip.
So you kind of trip and fall, and you hit the bottom, and
that's the
as
one
you
I'm
sit there
best
trying
at too. Just
to
FYI.
your entropy, you realize that the closest one is just barely outside of your ability to affect things. So
I'd like to do a side, like, I'm not being seen anime walk off behind a stalagmite.
Okay. Is that what you're going to use your action for? Is another move, basically? Or?
Yeah. If they're outside of my range, I'm just going to use it to get a little cover.
There are tons of these stalagmites everywhere. So if you want to, again, still remain behind a stalagmite, you could just make me another agility check for stealth.
Okay. Based on my last one,
Oh no!
could I use a legend point to just make this work, or should I deal with the consequences?
Anytime you have legend points, you can use them for whatever you want.
Yes, this is my
again,
internal debate. Made public.
They're probably going to recognize that there are people around pretty quickly here.
I like to bank things. I don't play the stock market. I'm gonna bank some things.
Okay.
10, so it's fine.
It's a weird.
Sure, you think you were very, very stealthy going over there.
Nailed it.
Kess, you are up next. So you have this person just kind of staring at you. His head's cocked to the side a little bit. He seems kind of emotionless. You see, again, red irises. He's obviously Sheikah, a little bit darker skin. And he has 2 very sharp, wicked-looking daggers pulled, ready to strike. So,
dang, it's
what
almost
would you
a
like to
shame
do?
I can't just go, these are mine now! Woo! No.
I mean, if you want to try that, you can. It's going to be an interesting check, but...
No, I'm gonna shoot my, Does that count as a movement, using the hook shot to move, or...?
Yes, that's technically your movement. If you use it to move. Just remember, if you're on, like, a stalactite, hanging from the ceiling, you won't be able to use your hook shot to attack because it's what's keeping you in the air.
That's fine. I would like... It's a shame that smack didn't make him drop anything.
No, it did damage.
Gotta roll that 10+.
How do I use a Bane again?
It's kind of like making an attack, but it will inflict a status effect instead of doing damage or something like that. So, if you have a specific Bane that you want to use,
yeah, I would like to use my Nerve Strike.
Okay, so you point the hook shot at him, and you make your Bane attack. I believe that's against toughness. So go ahead and make a. It's still going to be based on your logic.
I'm gonna use another logic, or not logic, legend point.
Another logic point.
You're funny. 28.
Well, that definitely works. If I remember correctly, which one did we put in here? Yeah, they're incapacitated. You sit there and you point your hook shot at him at almost point blank range. Like he's only about 5-10 feet away. So you sit there and goes, well, we have a guest, don't we? You go, ah! And you hit him and you strike him in the solar plexus, and you watch him, like you see, and his throat kind of closes for a second, and his muscles seem to seize up, and nothing else happens because it's not his turn yet. Yes, but he seems to be kind of frozen in place at this particular point in time.
Can I take his weapons?
It would require your action to do that.
Dang.
So you used your action for your Bane attack.
Dang. Fair.
Anything else that you want to do? You still have a movement and any minor actions that you want to take.
It's very tense.
Batman away!
Okay. Make me another logic check.
Meanwhile, assuming Kess says that out loud, Zolta is thinking to
24.
herself, what the hell is a Batman? Why does this thing exist? Why does someone want to be a bat and also human? Is this some kind of monster?
I've never heard of Batman, but I heard of Keesewoman.
24, and I'm fairly certain I don't go, yeah, Batman away.
Yeah, you have no difficulty. Are you aiming for another stalagmite, or are you going up top?
I'm going up.
Okay, so you go up. You guys, this time you actually see her do it, because she's not trying to be stealthy anymore. Is that Pierre? You are up next.
Oh, I am really far away. So I think the only thing I can really do this turn is to fly closer. So I want to, like, basically wings, fly to a stalagmite, and then just land. And if I get close enough where I can do things with knifey stuff, I will, but I don't think I can.
Nope. What's your speed?
30. Hold on, let me check to see what flying does.
Flying just lets you fly. It doesn't increase your speed or anything.
Still
It just
30.
So yeah, if you double move, basically you can get within about 15 feet of the one that she paralyzed, but that'll take your action.
I mean, that's all I can really do, so I'm going to double move.
Okay. So you guys watch as Pierre just kind of flares his wings and flies directly towards the one that is paralyzed. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yep.
So, Kess, as you sit there looking at this guy, and I have to remember sorry, I'm doing 7 things at once because this is a weird okay. So we can use, yeah, okay. So that's how it's going to work. Okay, sure. So Kess, you kind of you go up towards the ceiling, and as the guy that is like kind of frozen just sits there, looks at you, and then you see kind of a blur of movement, and he's no longer looks the same, but he's moving, and he pulls a dagger out, and he begins to throw it at you.
He's a speedster.
Pietro?
So the other one is gone?
No. If you look, you notice that where the other one used to be standing, he's still standing there, but the other one seems to be not moving now. Nearest to you looks perfectly fine.
Interesting.
Oh no.
Okay. So that means.
So now I gotta paralyze both you. I have a sneaking suspicion if this was actually 2 villains in a game, I would hate this boss battle.
This seems like one of those really complicated MMO boss fights that you just
Right?
have to like,
Where you're like, I hate
sit with
this.
your party and just plan out for like 20 minutes only to wipe for the next 20 tries.
Leroy Jenkins.
So it's actually still going to be advantage 1.
Aruna Jenkins.
So as the first dagger
You figured out his last name.
comes towards you,
Oh God.
the first dagger comes towards you and pierces you pretty hard. 30 versus your guard.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna call Yiga bullshit.
Yiga bullshit. Okay.
That is
Golly.
okay. I have a
It's one of her
17.
feats.
Okay.
Is my guard.
So you take
Chinese on the
13
melee.
damage, and it hits you hard enough that it nicks not an artery, but it cuts really now, bleeding out.
Son of a building block.
And then he very quickly spins and throws a second dagger at you.
Oh, come on!
I call Yiga Clint. I'm out. I'm like unconscious at this point. There's no, or dead. I don't know. I had 5 hit
Does that
points
mean
left
that
at
you
that point.
fall off the stalactite?
Yep. I am
she
probably
does.
dead.
Fall off the stalactite.
Can I try to catch her?
Sure. There's actually an action you can take, like an interrupt action that you can take when it's not your turn. Use your it'll use your major action for your next turn, but you can kind of jump over and try and catch her so she doesn't impact the floor.
don't care. I don't care about my major action. We need catch.
Aw,
Okay.
Thank you, Pierre.
Make me an agility check.
I am using a legend point here.
Go for it.
I'm gonna use my.
Use more legend points. Use all the legend points.
Use the force, Pierre. 30 and 35. Hell.
17.
That's actually good enough. You sit there, and as you flare your wings out and you dive in there, you're able to catch her and move an additional, because you were only about going to hit the ground. So you move her to another 15 feet, so you're kind of hidden behind another stalagmite.
Perfect.
With her just completely out right now.
And bleeding profusely.
So that means it is time for Aruna. What would Aruna like to do?
As a reminder, quick reminder to the audience, you can purchase reroll tokens that can force a reroll of either ourselves or the GM controlling an enemy. Just putting that out there. Super cheap.
Also, potions. Guys.
Potions are another great use of rupees. Okay.
And reroll tokens are really cheap, though. They're the cheapest thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Therefore, do them.
Okay. So, seeing it all hit the fan. Okay, so the one closer to me now looks immobile or paralyzed in some way.
No, the one close to you looks perfectly fine. The one that was further away now looks... Oh, I forgot to... he may no longer do that. Give me a second. No, he's actually still not moving.
Good.
So the one closer to the portal is not moving.
Yeah, the one closer to the portal is not moving right now.
Okay. For this whole little battle, I'm gonna try and just keep an eye on if either of the mobile guys tries to make a beeline for the shiny thing down in the hall.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to... Sure. I'm gonna just sort of take the slope and just do a little Goron roll down towards the one closer to me. And... man... yeah, let's...
So the closest one is about like I said, roughly about 75 feet away from you.
75. Oh, I thought it was 50. Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, he's 50 feet away. The other one's 75.
Oh, okay.
Math is hard.
Correct.
So I should be able to use my full movement and be able to throw a bomb at the closer one, I think.
What's your movement?
Movement's 30 feet, so it'd be a 20-foot. I don't know.
All right. Give me a second here. I'm trying to remember. No, because the room's not 100 feet wide. It's 150. All right. So, yeah, the closest one is 75 feet. The further one is about 100 feet.
Wow.
Using this.
So...
Yeah. Again, it's a big room, and Kess went pretty far ahead, so...
Okay, so...
Neural Batman thing. That's why it took Pierre... He moved 60 feet, and he was still not close enough to actually get an attack.
I don't have my item little card pulled up, but historically, have I been able to?
You
throw
have a
bombs?
50-foot range on your bombs.
Oh, great. Okay, so then I'll
so you
use.
Can still theoretically hit them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sort of just roll while using gravity, sort of just roll down and pop out and use that sort of momentum to take a hand bomb and just chunk it at this close dude here. Okay,
go for it. Make an attack roll.
While he's doing that attack roll, I also want to make a notion that you can remove enemies from the game.
There's all sorts of stuff you can buy to get us to survive.
Help make this easier for us.
It's just fantastic.
I mean, it's not about making it easier. Just make sure that Kess doesn't die.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's also really out of character, by the way.
I know.
That's not from Zolta, that's from me.
I know.
That's going to be a
400,000.
400,000 versus guard. No. Man, my coffee's not working.
See, and this is why when you have a system that has exploding dice, it can be very difficult to use your own personal dice. Computers are nice.
Only if they explode, which these didn't.
Then the fact that it's taking you so long to math
like
has
I said,
questioning
my coffee has not fully kicked in, and I'm also looking at like 17 things. 15 versus guard.
15 versus guard. As you throw the bomb, he kind of spins and does a spinning hook kick and just kicks the bomb away from him, and it explodes harmlessly against.
Oh, I can't do 3 damage.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, you can either miss or you choose one. I choose one.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna do 3 damage here.
Okay. So he math is hard. You sit there and he kicks the bomb away, but it still explodes a little bit close to him, so he doesn't take the full brunt of it. And as he does that, he dashes over to right next to where Pierre are now.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I'll just call out to Pierre. Get her to safety. That's it. That's all I can do.
All right, that brings us back to Zulta.
So one of them is close enough now.
You'd have to move like 10 feet to get close enough, but you can easily get there.
Okay. And that's the one that led to Kess falling?
Yes, the one that chucked the pair of daggers. As you watched him throw it, you saw, because he's wearing these kind of pretty heavy robes, you saw as he pulled them back, he has a belt full of daggers.
What?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get close enough. As much as Zolta and Kess fight, they've been together for a little while now. They've faced a lot of similar problems and being alone out and about in the world.
Like siblings. We don't like each other all the time, but there is a love and a camaraderie.
Zolta
3 whole days we've been together.
God, has it only been that little?
I mean, 3 days with someone is a long time when you're out on your own and have to avoid people hunting you.
I go on people like
Yeah. So
Bullshit.
Zolta is agreed that this person just attacked and potentially killed one of their party members, and she's going to try and drain him of all of his until he's bone dry.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And
Make me an
she's
entropy
gonna
roll.
To be fair, it does seem like he's cheating because he just transferred his like weird like, oh, I am paralyzed. Just kidding. My other self
and
is not cheating.
Yeah, it's a load of shit.
I'm using a couple legend points, so if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna be pissed.
You have more legend.
32.
Oh, good.
All right. So against that's against toughness.
Yes.
I have to do math now.
Good.
So that's 2 and 2, so that's 14. All right. Since you roll 10 over, you can inflict a entropy-based bane for free. Has to be power level 3 or lower. What do you want to hit him with?
Ooh, what do I want to do?
The most painful thing ever.
Yeah, I am going to give him persistent damage. When I attack him and steal his life energy, I want his flesh to go necrotic and for a little bit more of it to go black and start to
so you guys watch as Zulta moves forward, and this aura is kind of getting bigger around her, very anime-esque, and she just extends her hand out, and you see this bolt of black energy go out and smack this guy. He sits there, he brings his dagger up to deflect it, goes straight through the dagger and into him, and you watch him just kind of writhe in agony as his flesh instantly begins to necrotize the few bits that you can see. There, breathing very heavily, he coughs, and you see a little bit of blood come out, and he wipes it away from his mouth. He goes, "We have more friends." And he smiles and goes, "Lovely. We've been so lonely for so long."
God damn it.
I would like to give a legend point for Jodie to never use that voice ever again.
No, please, save him for your rolls, because
it's so creepy.
It is really creepy. So Zolta smirks and she says, "We can fix that."
Oh, okay.
I forgot we had a creepy person in our party too.
ending this round with a little bit of a crush on Zolta.
An unconscious crush.
It is your turn. I need you to make me a fortitude roll.
Wait,
as
me?
you bleed out. Yes, a fortitude roll.
Okay.
Because you're taking persistent damage, anytime you take damage, you have to make a fortitude roll or you die.
This is gonna be. I'm just gonna go ahead and use a legend point.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I should probably roll to tell you what the DC is. It's not going to be very high. Good, because reasons. Yeah, not that bad.
Alright, fortitude. Come on. Come on. 14?
Barely, but you are
not that high.
You are holding on to life.
Jodie, what are you doing? God.
It's 10. It's 10 plus the damage you took. So you took 4 damage. So.
Can I?
However, yeah, I'm gonna let you do this, despite the fact that you're incapacitated. Roll a resist roll. Just click on any of your defenses; it'll roll a resist roll. Like if you click on the word resolve or toughness.
Does it matter which one? Nope.
It's the same roll. It's just a basic D20 roll. There's no modifiers on it. It's just a flat D20 roll.
Okay.
You are no longer bleeding out.
Yay! Because now there's no more blood. What? No.
Oh, that's good.
And with that, Pierre, you're sitting there kind of cradling her body.
Aw, we're having a very sweet moment here while I'm unconscious.
You see her breathing a little bit easier, but she's still in a very dangerous state. Whatever these people are, they are definitely, and that is actually where we are going to end it for today. We will pick this up mid-combat.
Oh my god!
Hold me closer.
This is both the most gripping storyline episode that we've had and the most bizarre off the beaten path.
For those of you
Weird
wishing to write /fiction,
No!
go ahead and tweet that
Don't,
to
no!
No.
Oh, you know what? Please do, but give warnings beforehand so I know if I'd be comfortable reading it, okay?
Yeah.
But if you want to write fan fiction, I'll probably read it.
No. God.
Wait, did you call it /fiction? Because you and I need to have a talk
He
about
said
what
he said that.
No,
yeah,
I know exactly what
sure did.
/fiction was. It is a subset of fan fiction.
We
that we're not
could
going to talk
have
about.
some /fiction happen.
I mean,
based
it's
off
possible,
art.
but that...
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Anyway,
Oh,
all
goodness.
fan fictions or shipping predictions, send to Zelda Universe.
No.
and you know, you can tag me in it. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna end it for today, because we are getting dangerously close to running out of time here. If you tuned in and watched this live, thank you so much. Again, we're rolling out all these new systems with the rupees and everything. So watch the other. If you want to help, help these guys out, give them potions and stuff like that. Watch the other Zelda Universe shows, because you whenever you are watching Zelda Universe Twitch shows. So tune into tonight. We have the Cody Zone, right? Cody's
back. Yep. Pokemon Silver is what he's streaming tonight.
So you can watch a crazy Aussie play Pokemon Silver.
Accurate.
Which is with Pokemon like Soulja Boy and Amy Winehouse for some reason.
He named them
He's
all
fun to watch. He is
yeah.
really an entertaining person to watch, just in general.
Entertaining is a stretch.
It's
we're currently trying to advertise and get people to watch it on the network.
Anyway, like I said,
I'm not still in California, Alex, because the shade you just threw, I could bask under.
Feel free. If you missed any of the episode, like I said, on the Twitch channel, it's available. Our video on demand is available immediately. There's no paywall or anything. Like, you can just come over and watch it here on the Twitch channel. Otherwise, next week we will be rebroadcasting this episode, and as soon as the rebroadcast is over, we will be uploading it to the YouTube channel. So whatever to watch Realms of the Wild, feel free to make sure you watched every minute of this really awesome episode. Does anyone very quickly have anything special that they're doing that they would like to plug before we go away?
I did a dance a couple weeks ago. That happened.
Good retroactive plug. We launched a couple new shows actually. Eric Schuler, who's in chat, is one of our broadcasters. Konnichiwa Korak, you get to sort of learn Japanese through Zelda games. It's really cool on Thursday nights. And we also premiered ZU After Dark. That's now on Wednesday nights, which is right after my other Wednesday stream, which is great because I'm on it. So that's a cool little hangout kind of show that we have going on as well. So check both of those new stuff out, and look forward to more new stuff on the channel soon.
Yeah. And then for me, I stream on my own personal channel on Wednesday nights. It's twitch.tv/TrainerJodie. So, and I believe my stream is going to be before if it ends, because I stream at the same time that Minecraft Wednesdays does. I think
you start a ways before ZU After Dark, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so feel free to come over and watch. I have a brand new custom D&D campaign that I'm going to be streaming this week, and then next week taking the day off because I'm single and have no one to spend it with. So yeah, do that. Otherwise, you can check out, like I said, head over to the Zelda Universe YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Zelda Universe, right?
TV.
What? Zelda Universe TV.
Yep.
Thank you, producers. That are
which you can find a link to in our extension below the player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music.
Follow Zelda Universe on Twitter. That's just @Zelda Universe. And you can hear about all the other stuff that we're doing. That's where we have our poll for MVP that goes up next week. Yeah. Other than that, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys next time, okay? Bye-bye!
Bye!